Okay, so in a world that's just flooded with data, how do you actually find the truth? Well, that's the power of data visualization. And today, we're going to demystify how it turns all that noise into real meaning. Let's dive in. I mean, every single day, we are surrounded by this tidal wave of raw information. It's a constant barrage of numbers and metrics coming from countless sources, and it creates what you could call a perpetual state of data noise. So, with all that noise coming at you, how do you find the meaningful signal? The actual insight that can lead to a breakthrough or a smarter decision? Well, that's the big question we're going to answer right here. Before we can even get to the solution, we really need to understand the true scale of the problem. So let's start with this data deluge that we're all navigating every single day. Just think about it for a second. Modern businesses, and even our own personal lives, are processing these massive volumes of data from everywhere. Websites, our smart devices, social media feeds, you name it. And in its raw form, this data is just, well, it's overwhelming and incredibly difficult to make any sense of. So we've got a serious problem of information overload, but luckily there's an elegant and really powerful solution that cuts right through all that noise. And that solution is data visualization. At its core, it's really just the process of taking all that complex, messy data and translating it into visual elements. We're talking about charts, graphs, and maps that our brains are just naturally wired to understand way more quickly than a spreadsheet full of numbers. And this slide just perfectly illustrates that transformation. On one side, you have total chaos, this high-volume, complex numerical data that's almost impossible to use effectively. But on the other side, you get clarity, an insightful visual that your mind can process almost instantly, revealing patterns that were completely hidden before. It's a total game changer. So we know what it is, but let's talk about why it's so critical. I mean, what are the tangible benefits that make this an absolutely essential skill to have? The advantages here are just huge. Visualization doesn't just simplify complexity. It actually reveals hidden patterns you would never, ever spot in a table of numbers. It saves an immense amount of time, it improves communication, and ultimately, it supports truly data-driven decisions. Heck, it can even boost team engagement by giving everyone a shared visual goal to rally around. Now, creating an effective visualization isn't just about making a pretty chart. It's about telling a story. It all starts with the why. What question are you trying to answer? Then you go out and you gather and clean the right data to answer it. And only then do you select the perfect visual to communicate the insights you've found. Story, data, and visuals. You absolutely need all three. Okay, so how do you actually do this? Let's take a quick look at some of the most common and powerful techniques for turning data into a compelling visual story. First up, the classic bar chart. Its superpower is immediate comparison. You can instantly see which products sold the most, which region is underperforming, or how survey responses stack up against each other. If you need to answer which one is more, a bar chart is going to be your clearest tool. Next, we have the line chart. Think of this one as your go-to storyteller for data over time. Are your website visits trending up or down? How did sales fluctuate last quarter? A line chart connects all those individual data points to reveal the journey of your data, making trends pretty much impossible to miss. And of course, the pie chart. It's perfect for showing parts of a whole. Things like market share or budget breakdowns. It gives you an immediate sense of proportion. But a quick word of caution here, they work best with just a few slices. Any more than that, and they can get really confusing really fast. All right, now for something a little more advanced, heat maps. These are brilliant for answering the question, where? By layering color intensity over a map, you can instantly see customer hotspots, regional sales performance, or areas of high activity. It reveals geographic patterns that tables and charts alone could never show you. So these tools are incredibly powerful, but with great power comes great responsibility. A misleading visual can actually be worse than no visual at all, and that's why we have to talk about visualizing responsibly. It's really easy to get this wrong. A visualization is only as good as the data behind it, so poor quality is a killer. But you can also oversimplify and lose important details. Or you can do the opposite and create a cluttered mess. And we all have to be aware of our own biases, which can unintentionally skew the results before we even start. A huge part of being responsible is simply choosing the right tool for the job. This table here is a great starting point. If your goal is to compare values, use a bar chart. If it's to show a trend, use a line chart. Matching your goal to the right visual is just fundamental to clear communication. Finally, let's lock in some best practices. Number 1, always start with your audience. What do they need to know? Keep your design clean and uncluttered. Provide context with titles and labels to build trust. And whenever you can, make your visuals interactive to let your audience explore the data on their own terms. This quote really just captures the essence of it all. The ultimate goal isn't just to show data, it's to guide your audience. A great visualization leads them on a journey, making it easier for them to understand, to reach their own conclusions, and to make better, more informed decisions. So, as we wrap up, I'll leave you with this question to think about. In your work, in your life, there is data all around you. What hidden patterns, trends, and insights are just sitting there, waiting for the right visual to bring them to light? What story is your data waiting to tell?